Hey, my friends, it's Mark. Mark Cooks and Eats Things. Hey, I decided to do some caramelized onions. I saw a bag of onions on sale at the grocery store today, and realized I've never actually done a proper caramelized onion before. So, whole bag of onions. When I was reading about doing caramelized onions and looking into it a little bit, I came across this chef. Last name was Adler. Adler talks about caramelizing onions being a bear job. And that if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly bear. And what he's talking about is that this is a heck of a thing to do. It takes 4 or 5 hours to caramelize onions. So if you're going to do it, do a whole bag of onions. Do a few pounds of onions at once, and then freeze them for later. So that's what he means. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly bear. Go all in on this one. So that's what I've done. I've got a whole bag of onions going in the pot here. I'll show you what I'm going on here. So got the big Dutch oven pot out right now, and I got the onions all sliced up. So what you really do is you just cut the tops and bottoms of them off, and then slice them in half from tip to tip. Peel all the skin off them, of course, and then you want to slice them with the grain of the onion. You'll see the almost like these little ribs running through the onion. Because this is going to cook for a really long time, this will help them shed water faster, and it'll also help them hold together through this long 4 or 5 hour cooking process. So all that's in this pan is onions, of course, all sliced up. Some butter. I used about a good healthy 4 or 5 tablespoons at least, probably a little bit more than that really, and some kosher salt, and that's all that's in this pan. And now we've got it set to medium, and we're going to keep it going until we cook all this water out. You can see the moisture starting to come off it now, and then we're going to go past that point and allow it to caramelize all the way. Onions have a really high sugar content compared to the once the water's out of them compared to the rest of the mass. There's quite a bit of unprocessed sugars in here that will caramelize beautifully over time. But the key is just that, it's time. It takes a lot of time to do this, and you got to be patient. So, it's a bear job. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. I will be doing this probably until 9 o'clock this evening. So I'm at the 1 hour mark now on the caramelized onions, and you can see just how much of a change they've undergone already. They're beginning to caramelize. They've sweated all the water out of them at this point. And now I've got the heat turned down really low, right down, as low as possible, really. Just enough to keep these guys going. And we've got probably another 2 hours to go. But you can see the caramelization starting to happen. These will go until they're like a color of a chocolate bar. This should be like a rich chocolatey brown when it's done. And it should taste really, really sweet. So, a few more hours to go yet, folks. This is, like I say, on low. Give it a good stir every 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure it's not burning to the bottom. If this burns, the whole thing is ruined. It'll taste burnt. So you need to kind of, stay on it. Keep scraping up the bottom. Don't let the caramelized sugars burn to the bottom. Scrape them up. Stir them back into the onions. Keep them moving. Hey, my friends, we're back. And as you can see, we're at about the 2 hour mark now. And these onions are really hey, look at the color of them at this point in time. And the smell is fantastic. I'm guessing I probably am going to call this in maybe the next half an hour to an hour. They're really, really close already at this point in time. They're just coming along beautiful. I've tasted them at this point as well. The sweetness level of them. I could easily just take a fork to these right now and just eat them right out of this pan. They're that good. They're sweet and delicious and caramelly, and they're going to add so much flavor to so many things. I just wish now I'd made twice as much. So, altogether, this one bag of onions, probably a pound of onions, took me 2.5 hours to cook them all the way down to caramelize them. Well, they're totally done at this point in time. I don't want to take them any further than this. I'm worried about getting them taking them too far and darkening them up too much and then burning them. So, nice and rich and chocolatey looking. And we're going to have a little bit of taste of them here. See what they... So, a little tiny scoop of the onion on the end of my spatula here. Just want to know how they turned out. They smell fantastic. Oh my. Sweet and caramelly. If you tasted it with your eyes closed and you didn't know what it was, you wouldn't know it was an onion. You would not know. It elevates an onion. It's like a magical process to caramelize an onion. Unbelievable. I should have made twice as much. I should have made easily as twice as much.